Hi, Team Flyer. How are you today? My always believers in general. This Motivational Monday, of course. And my name's Ariadna, and I have my beautiful co-host, Cassandra. Hi, Cassandra.
Hello, good morning. How's it going?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I think we need a break already, basically. I feel like this is a great moment to remind our listeners to for previous quote of like taking breaks. Like, yeah, I feel like even if we just started, it's like I just need to go stretch a little bit more and just like smooth in my morning without a doubt. But anyways, here we are with a quote. Let me start us off this week. So today's quote is, our best selves and our dreams are going to be lived out in direct proportion to our willingness to show up for them every single day, by Janalee Ensley. That's one hulk of a quote.
Yes, my sister actually found this one and had sent it to me. And I think that the reason why we love this and why we want to share it today on the show is because of the idea that, like, you know, how much effort and work people have to put into things just to make their dreams come true or succeed in the different aspects of their life. Like, showing up every single day is really hard work.
Damn right. I'm sure feeling it without a doubt. I think oh goodness, one of the biggest compliments I always get and I really really appreciate is that I'm very disciplined, and I like that a whole lot because uh, first of all, even if you have a 9 to 5 job, quote unquote, a regular job, or you're working for somebody else, that still takes a lot of, strength and abilities and be like, okay, I gotta go to work, especially if it's a job that you don't like, first of all. But moving onward to like my particular scenario, building your own business, building your own empire, you gotta be on it every single day. I mean, yes, resting and yes, like go stretch, go yoga, go do what you need, of course. But when it comes to like the grind of it all, you have to be on it, and you have to make sure that you find ways to motivate yourself daily. Because I always tell you all, I love my job, I really do, but there's days and there's moments like this one. Like, I'm like, oh, could have we postponed this a little bit later? Yeah. But does life really work that way sometimes? No, because we both are busy people. We both have different things to do after this. So it's like, let's just do it, and put your best foot forward, obviously. But point being, within all, the mundane things that a job can have, you still have to find ways to motivate yourself to be there. Because if you really want it, you're gonna go get it. If you really, really, really want it. I feel like a lot of people are like, oh my god, I really wanna, oh, I have no examples today apparently, but I really want to do something. Or like I really want to learn how to draw, but they never take any lessons. It's like, do you really want it? Oh, I really want to like work out better. But do you make an effort every single day to do at least 10 sit-ups and start from there? No, then you don't really, really want it. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah. And that's the other thing is, one of the, like, whenever I'm interacting with a lot of my friends, I realize that not everyone even has a monthly goal, let alone a yearly goal, let alone like certain goals that they're focused on. Because I think that a lot of my friends are like excited and happy about their work, but like there's not a lot that they're doing to kind of like get to the next step sometimes. And it's like so simple, but like, what goals do you have for this month? Like, when you started the beginning of the month, I have a specific planner that says, like, what are you focused on and what are you trying to achieve and what are you trying to do? And I know that that sounds, I guess, well, basically, like, that is where you start. Like, if you want to show up every day, you have to have an outlook. You can't show up every day and be like, oh, I'm ready for the day, like, see what happens.
Exactly.
You have
No.
to have like goals, and you have to have ideas, and you have to have like a, it doesn't have to be planned every single minute of the day, but you have to have like a flowing, this is the direction I want to move in. And how can I,
Exactly, because if not, you just get stuck in the same place for like a really long time. And then you settle. And this is what we've been saying literally all season long. Don't freaking settle. So, yes.
yeah. And I don't know. It's just interesting because a lot of people I know are very successful, but I do think they get stuck in the working and just the focus on that. I mean, I brought this up before. I think I remember, what are you going to do in your retirement? Like, no one thinks about what are you planning to do? And my uncle, he's retiring May 1st, which is very soon. And him and my
I
aunt,
think
like,
at this point already passed, but yes.
May 1st.
By the time the episode comes out, by the time we're recording now.
Oh, yes.
I love saying these things because that's what real life looks like, literally.
Yes. So he retired. He's retired. Asked, them the other day, like, oh, well, what are some of your plans? And they actually did have quite a few things. They want to travel around Lake Superior. They want to go up into Canada. They want to go see a lot of the national parks, a lot of things primarily in the United States. But there's other people that I've met that have kind of were first forced retired through the pandemic, just because they were basically on the cusp, and then the pandemic hit, especially from my small town. And when I talk to them, they don't have any plan. And when you are working when you're younger, you're trying to think of, oh, I just can't wait till when I get retired and I can go do all these things. Well, now you're a lot more older. So like, what are some of your goals? Like, what do you want to do? That's a question that people aren't thinking about.
I think you get lost throughout the way, and you get really, once again, you get into really that mundane system of the kids 9 to 5, watching a movie, eating out, or like very, very same old. And I really, 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 if not, you can ask definitely my husband, I try the best so we always do something different. I'm not saying every single day, but I'm saying like at least once or twice a week is something that gets out of our comfort zone. Even through COVID, it could be something that was like, oh, let's start playing this video game that's really difficult, or let's start learning a different language. And it makes so much sense. It also keeps your minds like healthier and moving forward, of course. Going back to you were saying about monthly goals, I do agree. I feel like when I was a life coach for many years, that's happened to a lot of my clients, kind of like, oh, I don't know where, like, I know I want to be a teacher, and I know I need to study to be a teacher, for example, but I don't know how to get there. And I'm like, okay, once again, like you and me have discussed in previous episodes, yeah, that's the big picture, but what can you do every single day to make sure you get there? And that monthly goal, it's so important because it doesn't have to be like, oh my God, by the end of this month, I have to have my teaching degree. I mean, unless you're about to graduate, of course. But no, it's like, no, you can register, you can ask schools. You have the whole month to do it. You have to do it all in one day or like rush, but little by little, like make it happen, because then that's how goals are made. And that's how you start creating that dream life of yours, And another thing, even if you do like daily goals or like daily routines or daily things, once again, like you said, not to plan every single moment of your life by any means, but it can be something as simple as making the bed, because maybe through COVID you were just not feeling it, and you were not motivated. That's okay. We all have feelings, we've all been there. But start making your bed today. Maybe that's going to help you. Have a water bottle next to your bed and be like, today I'm drinking you entirely. It doesn't have to be the whole 2 liters. You just start with one little small water bottle. Things like that they just make your life better. They really do.
You subconsciously referring to the book Make Your Bed by Admiral Williams?
Probably because you've referred to it a bunch of times, but I feel like actually,
but I mean, it's a simple your daily.
It's simple. You remind me of Gary Vee. I saw his TikTok the other day, and one of the questions, where he has like rapid questions, like, "Do you ever make your bed?" And he's like, "No." But his thing was because it's a waste of time for him, and he'd rather be doing something else. And I'm like, see, if you're Gary Vee or you have that mentality or that way of like working, like I understand. Don't make your bed. It's absolutely fine. But for a lot of people, especially through the past year, something as simple as making your bed, hence the book that we refer to, it's like the start of your day, something fresh. Like I always do it, and I have that set routine, and it helps. And much like, oh, I freaking adore her so much. Allison Stoner, actually, she posted a while ago by now, probably, but still, she posts them quite often. Those kind of reminders every day, and one of them is like, when you wake up, don't touch your phone. You have half an hour to meditate, to write, to journal how you want your day to go. And I do that 90 something percent of the times. And I've been doing it for a really long time, and I absolutely adore it. So, stuff like that you can start with, basically. Not only making your bed, but yeah.
And the other, whenever I was in Hawaii and I was in quarantine for 2 weeks, that I couldn't even leave my hotel room.
Yeah, you were Hawaii for work, people. If you don't remember, he was there for work, not for holidays.
And I was in quarantine and I couldn't leave my hotel room. And the first 2 days were maddening because I did not have a plan. So the only way to like mentally, with sanity, get through 2 weeks like that was to literally wake up and have something scheduled for every hour of the day until I went to bed, to the point where it didn't feel like I was trapped in a room.
Because that's exactly what it was. I remember that base. I remember we also recorded a whole bunch. That was season 1, so I feel like forever ago by now. But I remember we were just talking a lot of times. We weren't even recording. And you literally, because you work in the military and they're really strict, which I think at that point with COVID everybody was, and you were going to a base, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
2 weeks in the room meant for you 2 weeks literally in your room that you had food delivered, and very like you had like literally zero contact. So I remember like we talked. I remember you worked out a whole bunch as well. You watched shows, you read, and it was like entertaining at the end of the day. Because I feel like, yeah, 2 weeks in the same room without leaving at all, that's just intense.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the one tip I would tell you is bring enough underwear for 2 weeks,
So
because I certainly did not.
especially if you're quarantined, because you couldn't leave your room at all. I mean, that was really frustrating. I mean, I understand that you have to go through that. I get it, but still. And like I feel like if you guys have listened to me enough through season 1, season 2, I mean, my live situation, I live with a lot of people because I live with my husband's family, and because of COVID, our schedules, I'm not schedules, but our plans really got effed up for like everyone in this house. And we've been indoors. And not only do I live currently in Massachusetts at the time that I'm recording this, so winter is long. Because there's so many of us, we don't really have space anywhere else to go but our rooms, and like I'm always in here, so I have a lot of cabin fever. Like it is insane. I already had it a little bit before COVID because it was just like we just moved and we're getting like around, and it's like suburbs. But before, I used to go to the library, I used to go to the gym, I used to volunteer at the school, I used to see friends, and now it's like, okay. So yeah. That's why I think at the beginning of this episode I was like, one of the best compliments is that I'm disciplined because I have to be.
And this is one thing that I actually truly believe, and I do believe that if you are just waking up to work hard every day, you will succeed no matter what, even if it's not to reach the exact dream that you dreamed up in the beginning. But there's so few people, I feel like, that are like, okay, what are we doing? How are we going to do it? Let's get out there. What am I focused on? What am I doing today? What's my goals? Da 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 da. And I think that's one, just that mentality is enough to basically get through life.
Exactly. Do you think she reminded me of is like, please don't wait for life to be quote unquote perfect. It's not. I keep getting that question a lot, just in general. And it's like, oh my God, but you have businesses and you're successful and like you have podcasts. I'm like, yeah, but I record from top of my bed or on the floor sometimes, or it depends. Like I don't have to wait. Like, do I have the right equipment? Well, yeah, little by little I do, obviously. But like other than that, you gotta go for it and make sure you're disciplined enough to do so. And then I'm also very real, not only through the episodes in general. There's days that I feel like ish, basically, that I feel really bad, that I don't feel motivated. And not because of the views or the follows. I just think it's just because it's really difficult to be upbeat all the time, even if you have set goals. And that's okay. That's absolutely okay because we all have our moments. Just as long as you always remember your why, why you're doing it. And it could be something as big as I want to have a successful company, or something as I want to feel better with myself. Why am I doing 10 push-ups every day and not like an hour workout? It's like because right now I can only do 10 and I want to feel better with myself. Why am I drinking so much water? It's because I know water's healthy, and instead of drinking that Coke, then I'll just drink water. So on and so forth, once again. And I'm just giving you really, really mundane examples that I get all the time through DMs and comments and questions and etc. So just relate to anything else as well throughout this.
And one of the other things before we repeat the quote is, you know, I think one basic idea is just to have 10 plus ideas of how you want to see your life. Like, so you don't have to have just one dream and one goal to focus on. For me, I'm like, maybe I want a lake house that's has some woods and has those types of things. Maybe I want to hike the Appalachian Trail. Maybe I want to go to Spain and do the 30-day Camino de Santiago.
Oh, coming to Santiago.
I just feel like one of the like my uncle even said the other day, because I've been able to spend out a lot more time with my aunt and uncle recently since I'm in Milwaukee, is wow, like every time I talk to you, it's like you're doing something different or you have a different idea or you're looking into something else. And yeah, I just don't want to be bought, I don't want to be held back by just one idea. I just want to explore many ideas. And so that's why I'm always doing research on different things. And so if my life takes a left turn tomorrow, I'm ready. I'm gonna go do it.
I love that mentality. I feel like that's another way of excuse my voice, excuse me so much. Hold on a sec. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, as always. But still. But yeah, I feel like that mentality is a rock star kind of mentality. It's all the golden stars and then some, of course. Be curious. Life is meant to be celebrated. It's meant to be lived. I feel like I can go on with a billion examples, and I probably will tag them down below by the time this episode hits. Like Helene Between, I freaking love her. For example, it's just people who actually go out and live their lives the way that you want it, the way that they are meant to. I don't like conforming. I don't like settling. So I do literally the opposite of that. And you always have to have a million ideas. And then the other example is like, oh my God, Ariana, you have 3 podcasts and you have merch and you're starting more businesses and you're doing so much behind the scenes that we don't know about yet. I'm like, yeah, my wheel is always going to keep turning with rest, like we said in the previous episode, with rest, of course. But it's because like there's so many things you can do. And you're the same way, Cassandra, because I know perfectly you're the same way, that you just want to do so many different things and you take advantage of like life and its journey and its adventure. And
Yeah,
that's
I
what
gotta be
today's quote is,
top
basically.
people that are out there not dreaming. So that's not us. This community is full of people that just have so many ideas. Everyone I get to talk with and even interview, just oh my gosh, mind blowing how many things people have done in their lives. Like that's the kind of people I want to be interacting with.
I agree. This is another reason why I love this community and why I want to create something like that. Not because I'm like, oh my God, there's so many other ones like me. I was like, no, I don't care. The more the merrier, because people need to understand this message. And like I said, I think in the previous one, if not a few Mondays ago, who knows? Surround yourself with people who lift you higher. This is why I said, I'm like, at the moment I met Cassandra, I was like, okay, this is perfect. This is amazing. Like, we became really good friends. We started Motivational Mondays. You're my co-host this season, and so on and so forth. And I'm like, same goes for your feed. Same goes for people in your life. You gotta keep going. And Team Flyers definitely, definitely part of that, without a doubt. We do have very extraordinary stories, and I freaking adore that because that's what the world needs more of. So, should we repeat the quote?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, you and me.
Oh, you.
Oh, yay. Okay, I can do this. I can read. I can know how to read out loud. All right. Our best selves and our dreams are going to be lived out in direct proportion to our willingness to show up for them every single day. By Janalee Ensley.
I just love it. And yeah, just make sure and also tell us how you show up every day. Like what's something that you are focused on every day that helps you move forward.
Exactly. Just let us know. Just like I said, give us tips, give us tricks, give us tag other profiles and be like, yo, this is like who I stay motivated with. It could be Fitness Marshall. I freaking love Fitness Marshall. He keeps me, and like his two girls keep me motivated to like work out. If you want to work out and have fun, Fitness Marshall. Plus, he has like so many things for free. It's not even funny. So, yeah. Basically that. Anyways, for us, yeah, we'll see you another Monday for Motivational Monday, of course. And yeah, bye, Team Flyer.
Ciao, ciao.